Welcome back to my new video, guys. If you're new to our channel, do subscribe and also click that bell icon to get notifications when I upload new videos. Now in this video we are going to see my predictions for this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. WWE haven't announced anything yet for this week's episode, so we just only going to see my predictions on what are the things that will be happening in Ricochet, Cedric Alexander and Apollo Crews will happen. On the previous episode, we saw the Hurt Business dominated Cedric Alexander, Ricochet and Apollo Crews at Raw Underground, so I think in this week's episode, they will meet in the ring in a 6-man tag team match. Natalya versus Mickie James will happen. It seems like WWE is now building Mickie James as a challenger for the Raw Women's Champion Asuka. She has defeated Lana at the previous episode of Raw, so I think she will have a match with Natalya in this week's episode and probably she's going to win this match. As well as I'm also expecting the match between Asuka and Mickie James will become official for Clash of Champions. The Street Profits versus Angel Garza and Andrade will happen. Angel Garza and Andrade were battled against the Street Profits in a Tornado Tag Team match at the previous episode of Raw, but that match was ended in a no contest after the interference by the Retribution. I assume that the rematch between these two tag teams could happen in this week's episode, and I'm also expecting that MVP and Shelton Benjamin could interfere during this match. Dominic Mysterio will be in action. Rey Mysterio is now injured. He could be out from the in-ring action for 1 month or maybe 2 months, and it's reported that WWE will have Dominic Mysterio in every episode. Well, I think he would be in action in this week's episode, maybe against Buddy Murphy or maybe against Dolph Ziggler. A huge tag team match will happen. At the previous episode of Raw, we saw Aleister Black help Randy Orton to score a victory over Kevin Owens. And I think Keith Lee is not finished yet with Randy Orton, so I assume that we could be heading for a huge tag team match in this week's episode. Well, these are my predictions for this week's episode of Raw. Let me know what's yours in the comments down below, and I see you all in my next video. Bye.